Hello again, everybody, and welcome to Wish You Were Beer, a weekly live beer review show. Isn't that right?
It's live. We're live.
Okay. So this is a show where we'll be...
You can tell it's live because otherwise we would have edited all of this out already.
Otherwise, it would have existed right off the bat.
Untrue, because we edited a recent video and Phil included me discussing what we're going to do beforehand. So
It's my favorite.
False.
Yeah.
It was funny.
Well, this is a weekly show where we try different beers, new beers, some we've had, some we haven't had, go through some of the history either on the beer or the brewery, or sometimes about an entire movement within beer, which we'll be doing, next
2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah. So that being said, it's all things beer and all things good about beer and sometimes bad about beer, depending on which beer we're having.
Yeah.
If you go down to the information on the actual page, we've got a like and subscribe button.
You should do that.
Like every other American. Please like me. And
we just lost the subscriber. Thanks, Daniel.
that makes sense. We
Doing great. Off to a great start.
In their defense, they were Chinese.
Oh.
They didn't like my American joke. That's the only thing I can assume.
Like they're like a hacker, like that's trying to.
Oh my God! Why would you assume that's what all Chinese people are?
There's a huge thing going on right now about.
Speaking of lady, right?
2 more subscribers. Doing great, guys. This is going well.
No, but if you go down to the comment section, you can like, subscribe, share. It's also got our Untappd handles. So Untappd is what we use to check in our beer. It's basically a social media for beer.
Oh,
yeah, and alcoholics, but. So it's beer oriented. You can find beer near you. You can check in beer as you've had it. It keeps a running log on the beers that you have, where you've had them, who you had them with. So that's what we use for the show. But we also have our individual Untappd handles down there as well. So you can follow me, you can follow Tiffany, you can follow Phil, you can follow the show, and you can find out who out of all of us drinks the most and how early. It's me, 100%.
Daniel also writes novels about every beer he checks in.
Oh, wait, no, that's Tiffany.
Oh, that's Tiffany.
Yeah.
Unless I am distracted, in which case I either forget to check it in entirely or it just has no information whatsoever.
If you see Tiffany checking a beer at 8 in the morning, it's because we had it the night before. She forgot to check it in. If you see me checking a beer at 8 in the morning, it's because I'm off work and I'm having a beer. Big difference.
Yeah. Basically, if it's any time before like 1 or 2 on a normal day, like a weekend, and if it's before, I don't know, I don't drink during the workday. So anyway, if it's at any point in time, it's not, afternoon. It's from yesterday or the day before.
Okay.
I actually checked in like 10 beers one morning because I realized that I didn't check in anything from like the last week. So anyway. Good times.
Sure. Good times. Great job, Bill. Thanks. That being said, we also have an Instagram. You can follow us on that. We do have a website. Everything's scrolling down at the bottom of the screen, so you can follow us multiple different ways. Also, we use a lot of Beer Drop, which is a subscription-based service. And basically, you get a different beer box every month. You can add and interchange beers. You can get multiple beers, different tiers. You can get a bunch of beer, a little beer, whatever you want. It gets delivered to you. It's a fantastic program. We use it a fair amount. A lot of the beers we have on the show come from there. And there's a link down at the bottom where if you go sign up for it, you get $10 off your first order, and so does Phil. Please
support Phil.
Please support Phil's alcoholism.
Yes, please. It's why I'm doing this show from the attic of a church tonight.
Ended so well for Steve. He's not even on the moon anymore.
No. He keeps writing to me, and I am not responding.
So now that all the plugging is finished. No, wait, we have one more plug. I forgot about it.
Oh.
And it's not a butt plug. We've been putting up some extra content. Phil was in town recently, and we tried a bunch of Warhead sour beers.
Oh, they were so good.
They were not great.
They were miserable, but I think the most fun part about it is that we were also miserable in how we conducted ourselves because we had already been drinking for a good little while before we shot the footage.
Yep.
So it's probably even less polished than this live show, which is baffling.
Right. So good luck out there, guys. Enjoy watching it.
Mm-hmm. So go check that out. It's on our page. We're always trying to add some extra content, some shorter content, 10, 15-minute style stuff of having a beer wherever having a beer at, or even just talking to somebody who enjoys beer as much as we do. So go check that out if you haven't already. And all the selfish, dumb stuff aside, I'm Daniel. This is my equal partner in crime, who's very unladylike, Tiffany. And that beautiful bearded man is Phil, who's still not on the moon, but in a gorgeous church.
It's beautiful here. You know, I'm just in rehab. You know, it's
Actually, you know what it makes me think of with your backdrop? I want to room raider you so bad. I want to be like, nice shelves. We're pro skylight. Angle camera up. If there's a pineapple back there somewhere, you're getting a 10 out of 10.
I think there is. Oh, there is a rainbow light, but it's over there. Maybe I'll grab it a little later. Because I meant to put that in here because it is Pride Month and we should have rainbows in every show.
I have my koozie.
There you go. I knew we had something. No, I am on the second floor of an Airbnb on a bayou in Louisiana right now.
Very nice. So you're actually somewhere where it's more humid than here right now.
You know what? It's weird. It's not that bad here.
Oh,
it's
really?
hot, but it's not terrible. I hear it's awful up there right now.
Yeah, it's been miserable this past week. So good on you. You picked a good time to be in Louisiana, apparently.
Yeah, we're on the water too, so it's not like got some nice breeze coming in. So it's not too bad.
Okay, Mallet.
I know. Just gotta let my cat in. Hold on. Yes. So I am in the child's playroom right now of the Airbnb.
I'm okay with you.
Yeah, it's all right, but it is on a bayou, which scares the hell out of me.
It should.
It does, because I am from the north. This bayou stuff.
Anything swampy that's not my shorts, unacceptable.
Yeah, exactly. I've seen bugs the size of my face, which I am not for. But besides that, it's a nice place. I'm just here relaxing.
What is the artwork over your shoulder in the background there? It looks like some type of heart. Crown.
I think you nailed it. I don't know how to explain it further than that.
I used to be an art critic. Our art critic show is on Friday morning at 8, where we review apparently child's art.
I do like this little room back here, though, by the window.
It just seems like a terrible confessional. No,
yeah, it really does, and it seems like a place they lock the kids in when they're bad.
I mean, not a bad place to be locked. You got a window.
That's true.
Nicole Kidman film. It's The Others is what I'm thinking of. That's what that looks like.
Also, before we get too into things, if you are logged into YouTube, you can comment on the side wherever it is for you. One of these two
just like Vero just did.
Yeah.
The Bayou Gator Threat.
BFF.
Yeah.
Hashtag top fan. But if you want to tell us where you are located and where you're dialing in from, so to speak.
Dialing in from? You're not at work.
I don't think anyone dials in anymore.
I don't know how the internet
Louisiana, where are you calling from? It's Louisiana. Good to hear you.
No, it's just AOL dial-up. But yeah, you can let us know where you're coming from, because we've had some very interesting guests join us from Europe and Germany. Do we have somebody else, or no, just multiple German people? Just a lot of Germans.
Just a lot of drunk Germans at 3 a.m.
Fine. I recently got some DNA tests back. Apparently, I am 22% German.
Yeah, that checks out.
Big deal.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Somewhere way back somewhere. But no, let us know where you are. It'd be cool to hear all that. Continue with your conversation. I just wanted to say
and let us know what beer you're drinking, because I don't think a lot of people have this beer on them tonight.
Yeah, the random beer we're having tonight is probably not easily found. So if you are having a beer, which I hope, because
why are you here otherwise?
Right, have a beer every time you're here.
Please
let us know what beer you're having.
Unless you are in rehab, and then just enjoy the show.
Then yes, we will drink for you. I will be your designated drinker.
Yeah.
If you're in rehab, pretend to tell us about the pretend beer you're having currently,
or just how much you really like water.
Or have one of the new. They're going crazy with the new non-alcoholic beers.
Oh my God, the commercials have been all over the place.
Huge
it's
trend.
The one of like the girl opening the fridge and it's like it's lunchtime and she like takes a big sigh and she's drinking a beer and then it pans around and it's a 0.0 Heineken. I'm like, yeah, no. If I've had that shitty of a day, I'm having a real beer in the fridge because I left work and I hate everyone.
Right. And I'm like, sorry guys, I'm out for the rest of the day. I will put in
I do like the idea of being in an office though and like cracking open a beer and just like at your lunch desk, you're just like, fuck it.
I'm also okay with that. The idea of this, especially if it's not a twist off. Like I brought like a church key and I'm popping like a beer off.
So one of my early jobs, I worked at a surfboard company, and on Fridays they'd have like beer for again they order lunch.
This one.
Anyway,
one of my first jobs, I was at a surfboard company and we drank beer at lunch on Friday.
West Coast, Best Coast.
Right. One of my first jobs, I cleaned toilets for free because my dad made me.
That's not a job.
Oh, what?
No.
Oh, he was getting paid. I was just doing the work for him because he was like, why do you have kids?
Well, what beer are we doing then?
If I knew that, I'd be running this show, and I have done nothing.
This one's gone.
Well, I'm pretty sure we're doing this beer because it's June, so why not?
So why not have a
Thanksgiving Ale 2020?
Happy Thanksgiving, guys!
Why not?
Listen, there was a solid portion of me like earlier this morning where I was like, oh my God, we should go get like mashed potatoes, gravy, like have a whole plate of food here and this Thanksgiving ale right in front of it.
I did dress like it was fall.
Yeah.
There you go.
Really sweaty. It's hot.
Oh, it's not sweaty. I'm good.
Well, it's a sweater. Why are you wearing it?
Because it's comfy.
Oh.
Because the AC is on.
I had a similar idea with having like a platter of food, like eating Thanksgiving, but then I was like, ugh. That's as far as I got. It was a thought.
Exactly. Wasn't my entire day, Phil, especially my entire week about this show actually was like, oh, yeah, I didn't do it.
Yeah, I should do all this
Great
stuff.
idea. I didn't do it.
Yeah.
More chickens in the pictures.
But we didn't eat any of them yet.
Correct. And probably won't.
Well, we'll see.
Boom.
There we go.
Hey, there's me and the chicken.
There's Tiffany with the chicken.
So this is Mayflower Brewing Company, which I was confused on because I thought surely they're based out of Virginia, which is where all history in the United States comes from. But apparently they're in
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts, which is
Plymouth Rock.
I've been to that rock. It's awful.
Yeah, it really kind of is. It's not that exciting.
I like the history of it, but wasn't impressed. Come on down to Jamestown. There's a whole ship still. I don't think it's the original.
Multiple ships.
Well, we had to add multiple ships.
No, there's 3 ships there.
Yeah. The Nina. The Pinta.
The
Santa Maria.
And the Mayflower. Oh no?
Nope.
Nope, not even close.
Mm-mm.
Again, I think I've mentioned in previous episodes that I was homeschooled, so my early learning was very disruptive. Like, just a lot of facts that are not facts. But so Mayflower, it's a Thanksgiving ale, so they do this beer every year.
Yes, seasonally.
Yeah, cool.
So
I do like that aspect.
So the story of why we're doing this beer is, I can't remember when I tell you guys things or when I'm on the show telling things. So anyone who watched this already heard the story, but it's a new episode, so I'll go into it. I was in Massachusetts looking for, I was like, I'm going to pick up a bunch of beers to bring Tiffany and Daniel so that we can do a bunch. So if you notice our last episode, this one and the next one are all kind of New England based beers. I ran into the liquor store and they were closing in 10 minutes. So I was like, I panic bought. And I was like, this 4-pack looks good. That one's got a turkey on it. Let's go. Let's do this one. And then I just put them in. And I went outside and I was like,
can art came through strong.
Right.
You're like,
So,
can art.
Can art. And let's talk about the can art. I mean, come on. It's pretty.
Listen, at the end of the day, I grew up in Virginia. I love shooting a good turkey. I love turkeys in general.
I enjoy eating them. I've never shot one and really have no desire to do that.
Oh.
I also really like a yearly based beer. You know, like I saw the 2020 and I was like, that's not going to be good for much longer. Gonna have to get that one or else it's gone.
Well, let's hope. We'll check it in later.
We'll
wow,
find
it
out.
tastes like dirt. I apologize. It is bad. My thing
So I liked
is, I didn't realize this till today, actually, till I was getting the beer out of the fridge, because we have a separate section of the fridge where I'm not allowed to touch show beers.
Because he will drink them.
Because after like a third or fourth beer, like on any given evening, I'm like, oh, what is this? I've never had this. And it's a show beer for like 3 weeks from now.
Yeah.
And then we get mad at him.
Exactly.
So, you know.
But I am excited that this is an English style. Because it's literally one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty much what I think about, like as far back as beer goes. This is probably what it tasted like in some capacity with the English ales or like the English milds and stuff. I'm sure this one's going to be much different nowadays, but still, it makes me feel like I'm having like a real old beer.
Yeah. Like when you say like, pour me some mead, even though it's not mead, but you just have that, that concept.
Yep.
That's what money. Just so you know, it is a different process.
Do we have
Why don't we go into history and facts?
Into what?
History and facts.
I don't know. Is that a section of the show that we do?
That's what
It
I was
is.
just.
And this is where I put on my Mr. Rogers sweater, and we go into some history and facts. My favorite.
I'm excited to hear about it. Tell me about my hometown area.
Because none of us did any research other than Tiffany, so this is all news to us.
Yeah.
Let's roll into some trivia because that will help answer some questions.
Wait, going right into trivia?
You just played.
Yeah, because
history and facts for no reason.
This is how I set up my history and facts now because it keeps it structured and ADD Tiffany doesn't go off on a tangent.
So I guess I needed a trivia sort of screen to go to right after history and facts.
This is history and facts. We are going through history and facts with trivia, and it's fun. It's making it fun.
We're going through what?
It's like the day that like your history teacher was like, you know what we should do to learn history? We should play Jeopardy. And you're like, yes! And then you play Jeopardy
What
for
school
history.
did you go to where everybody was like, Jeopardy?
For the record, we watch Jeopardy on a very regular basis, and it's
What is
amazing.
wrong with you?
Nothing was wrong with me.
Okay.
I love Jeopardy.
Into trivia.
Much like
/ trivia.
So for those of you who listen to me and you logged into YouTube and you are able to comment alongside, you can also play trivia with us. Yay! Okay, so
our anime show is on Thursday night.
Right. It's at like 2 a.m. though. We got to do it.
Correct. We got a different demographic there.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, true.
Gabriel loves that.
Gabriel.
Loves that one. Gabriel's a big fan of our.
When he's not playing Pokemon Go, he's all right, continue.
True or false? Mayflower Brewing was founded in 2010 by the 10th generation great-grandson of the Cooper aboard the Mayflower, and his name was John Alden.
So he's of the lineage of someone who came off the Mayflower. Yep. John Alden's probably a fake name. I'll give you that one. Not a real person. Nobody in that time frame was named John Alden. They were either Smith.
Okay. Good talk.
Smith.
Is it true or false?
I think this is probably true, actually.
Yeah. I was about to also say that, and then I saw Vero's thing. She's throwing me off. And now Andy Whip is also saying, throwing me off.
I'm going true.
I'm going with our viewers because I care about them. False.
So you are correct. It is false.
Because his name was John Smith.
No, because
he got together with Pocahontas.
So no. Okay, so just a quick overview of the last however many shows we've done. I usually don't do.
That's why it's threw me for a loop.
Because I feel like it's kind of like that shisty SAT question that you'd get, and you're like, damn it, I should have read it closer. So anyway, the year that it was founded was actually 2007.
Vero did some homework.
Oh yeah.
She does.
Every time.
For the first time in her life.
Oh, stop it.
I assume. I don't know.
She is way smarter than you.
I've never. What?
I wasn't homeschooled.
This is not rocket science.
So anyway, founded in 2007, but the founder is the 10th generation great-grandson of the Cooper who was aboard the Mayflower, and his name was John Alden.
Okay, hold on. When you say the grandson of the Cooper, is Cooper a line of work in that time frame, or is that his
next
last
question.
name? Oh, you don't have any answers for that.
What is a Cooper?
Oh my God!
So Daniel,
I'm retiring 1-0.
No, I literally structure these based on Daniel.
How stupid I am. Thank you. I really love that about you.
All right, so A, someone who specializes in crafting coops like
God,
for
I hope
chickens
that's the answer.
or other small animals and livestock.
So I can call you Cooper.
B, someone who makes wooden barrels.
No.
C, someone who is in charge of monitoring the beers for over fermentation. Or D, a type of builder / architect.
I hate to pull a Phil here, but I'm going D.
You love pulling D.
It's
That's your favorite.
I have so many comments about that.
I want to say it's not C because I feel like the beer relation to that would be way too
past that time frame.
Well, and also to me, it would just be way too on the nose. Like this guy just happens to be a descendant of a guy who did beer things.
Okay.
And now he's got a brewery. It seems way too far out to me.
Well, we know Vero did homework. Makes me nervous now.
That's
Andy
true.
apparently is banking on the homework. I thought making wooden barrels was a different. I thought that was a different trade that had a different name. So I'm obviously wrong. Go, Phil.
I'm going to go with the crowd again. I'm going to go with B as well.
I'm sticking with D.
Tiffany's faces.
You're all correct if you went with B.
Oh.
So, yes. So a cooper is a person who makes wooden casks or barrels, and they heat or steam the different timber, and they basically make what you still use today.
Sure.
So a beer barrel cooper was who this John Alden was. So his 10th generation great grandson is bringing back the beer business in some way, shape, or form.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Also, Beer Barrel Cooper sounds like an awesome motorcycle gang.
Oh, fantastic.
Can you imagine the jackets?
Oh,
Right.
So good.
But anyway, so people that you meet in America that have a surname as Cooper, their family lineage likely comes from someone who was a Cooper.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Like Mr. Cooper?
No. You can't hang out with him, sir. You're not invited.
Oh, okay.
And you think Mr. Cooper made a barrel? Not at 6
Oh,
foot.
Mr. Cooper would make a barrel.
Bro. Hanging with Mr. Cooper was a show on the it wasn't CW yet. It was the United Paramount Network, UPN, channel 27 on regular cable or regular
56
TV.
for me.
56? Okay, so I didn't have cable. So
I didn't either.
channel was 3, 13, 27, 33, 43, and that was it.
Yeah.
So United
Wow.
Paramount
How do you
Network
know
was
this
channel
still?
27 because I don't know anything about everything else that everyone just made me feel stupid about. God. But if you want to talk about hanging with Mr. Cooper, we can go through the cast. I can tell you what they're doing currently.
Oh, I would love to on our Hanging with Mr. Cooper podcast on
That's Wednesday mornings.
I hope someone goes back and watches these episodes and actually figures out what time all our other podcasts are on.
It's obviously all we do. Actually, we're on this all day long with different shows. Oh no.
Yeah.
Phil makes the slides, Vero. That's never gonna happen.
Yeah. Nope.
Thanks, guys. Thanks.
However, I do agree with you, but
Yeah.
I don't.
If anyone else has any Hanging with Mr. Cooper facts that they'd like to put in the comments, I'd love to hear some more.
I would love to hear what regular channel it was on for you, depending on where you live.
I want to say it was
even more.
I want to say it was 56. It's
Yeah.
either 56 or 38. And there's some people from my neck of the woods on this, and they could let me know.
Okay.
So, yeah, because I'm trying to remember what was it? What was the network called? It was
the United Paramount Network, UPN.
It was UPN.
It also had Moesha with Brandy.
Yep.
It had
Oh.
right here. Yeah.
Don't get me started about Moesha.
Sorry, I'm sorry. This is a whole
Don't
different
even.
show.
I want to
Next
say
slide.
UPN was 38. No, I'm going to keep going about this because
Yeah.
this is important. I want to say UPN, I think, was 38. I want to go back, fact check
Next
it.
slide, please.
It'll
There we
be
go.
on our channel
Okay, thank
next
you.
week. We'll post all the original cable shows in their entirety.
We've actually got Mr. Cooper on the show coming up.
Could
So-
you imagine?
Oh,
No.
I couldn't.
Hey,
No.
so what states do you think that they
Dream
distribute
come
to?
true. If we're gonna talk about Mr.
You guys are
Sorry.
the worst people on my team.
Okay. What state?
Select all that apply.
I'm only on Mr. Cooper's team. That's the only team I want to be.
You know I can't read that.
What states does Mayflower Brewing distribute to? Select all that apply.
Ooh.
Oh my God! And then Dan's gonna bring up the WB after the UPN got
Oh,
it.
you know what it
Different
was?
show. I'm sorry.
The
I know.
WB was 56. UPN was 38. Now I
Right.
got it.
Catch us on Wednesday mornings.
Yeah. All right.
They're in Massachusetts. We know that. So they have to be the entire New England, I would imagine.
The entire. What is that? What is
Obviously,
the entire
Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Connecticut, Vermont, Maine. There's no other New England than those.
Nope. I'm gonna go all.
Going with D. Oh
I
no,
think they hit
no.
it.
Normally D is all of the above. I apologize.
They're
That
brewed
would
in
be-
Massachusetts, but only get them in Connecticut. That's it.
I do love that idea as well. By the way.
Sorry, guys. Yeah. Okay. It is all of these.
Boom.
I don't have any other information on this slide.
They,
All right. True or false? Mayflower Brewing uses the same water source to brew their beer that the original Mayflower Pilgrims used when they arrived to drink out of.
I'm going false because we already had a brewery out of Colorado that uses snow melt. Have you been in brackish water, either here or New England? There's no way.
How do you know if it's brackish?
Has to be. They use salt water for it. I mean, I say that, but we haven't tried the beer yet. Maybe it's just like, oh,
Salty.
yeah.
I'm gonna go with.
Another brackish water. I don't know.
I kind of want to go with true here because I feel like it's such a random false. It's a random question, I
Okay.
guess. And I don't know if that would. I feel like that would have popped up on the website, and Tiffany would have been like, "That's a good true or false thing." And so, she wouldn't have just thought of this question, or they would have been like, "Mayflower Brewing doesn't use the same water source." They wouldn't put that on their website.
Yeah.
So I'm going with true.
Would you go with you and false?
Yes.
Okay, it's true.
What? Enjoy your.
I'm in the
mosquito
mind
beer.
of Tiffany.
I can't wait to drink
You
mosquito
know this.
larva out of this beer.
You know I'm in the mind of Tiffany. I know how she uses these.
You think I would know, but I'm over 8 now.
Yeah, you're having a rough night.
Yeah,
I-
yeah.
Trust me, we'll talk about it later.
Where you couldn't get your Mr. Cooper episodes on Netflix, or did they take it down?
If any one person can tell me another character on the show of hanging with Mr. Cooper, I will send you a beer.
No Googling.
Yeah, no Googling. I'm talking it shouldn't take you that long. No one. That's what I
Not a
thought.
single person. Next.
This is an old question.
Oh,
I like that
gosh.
it's in this episode, though, because
Why do
I'm
I
going to
keep
go
doing
with
that?
true.
There you go.
Can you
I
tell I
remember
just
this.
copy and paste the slides from the previous episode?
Yep.
Sometimes I like to think that you guys are doing so much work, and then shit like that happens, and I'm like, oh,
It's
never mind.
just me.
Tiffany's doing a shit ton of work. Feels like I'm in a church.
Well,
That's the cat. That's the
I
cat.
know,
Yeah.
exactly.
keyboard
Alright.
cat.
What year did the Mayflower Brewing Company add the Thanksgiving Ale to their Cooper's Series beer lineup? 2008, 9, 10, or 11?
So we're having the 2020, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with C, 2010. Just because it
See-
seems like this would be an important beer.
Yeah, but so you think it took them 3 years before they finally did a Thanksgiving one? Calling themselves the Mayflower Brewing Company? I'm going with I'm going with B. I'm going to go with 09. I think it took them 2 years.
Okay.
That's my guess.
Anyone else?
They're on a little bit of a delay, so we can talk
I
about
know.
hanging with Mr. Cooper for a bit while other
Okay,
people
so
start
here's the
answering.
thing. It's the greatest show.
It's one of the best.
It's like
I mean-
the Cosby's minus the date rate. You have a real family who cares about each other. They're just going B.
Back it up with Sister, and then I'm just
No, don't even talk to me about sister. Oh my God. Tia, Tamara, you get the hell out of here.
How do you keep all of this information in your head?
Because I don't keep any other information in my head. Just the important stuff.
I literally do a purge every year of well, that's not important.
I know. She forgot
The
my
answers are coming in. The delay is caught up.
Yeah, right.
Vera's with me on this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna still say C, but I think Vera did her homework, so I'm probably wrong again.
You are.
God damn it! This show's getting stupid. I'm going back to my Hang with Mr. Cooper podcast.
I'll see you there.
No one questions me there.
They should. Yeah, so they started brewing this beer in autumn of 2009, and it was inspired by two different traditional brewing styles. One which we talked about, which is the English Old Ale, and the other one is the American Strong Ale. So I couldn't find any information specifically on the 2020 version, but on their website they had 2018 still on there. And that one was aged on American white oak, and it has hints of caramel, vanilla, and spicy nuts. So it's very much so like a Thanksgiving, or would pair well with those hearty.
Well, especially with an English Old Ale, those are all complementary.
That's all I've got.
Beautiful things. So,
which means
we're gonna have to have a whole UPN broadcast because yes, Charmed was also on UPN and moved to the WB after a couple of seasons. It's not.
By the way, guys, this glass is coming in handy.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
I saw your picture. I don't know if it was Twitter or Instagram or whatever, and I was like, glass is doing work though.
You know what's great about this glass? So for those who weren't here last week, Tiffany and Daniel bought me this glass because they know how much I enjoy a good what kind of glass?
Worthless spending experience.
Yeah. And it's an Anchorman glass. And I made fun of them for it because I was like, thanks for giving me this glass that I now have to carry with me as I travel across the country.
He's like, yeah, we needed more luggage.
I just needed more luggage, and especially something breakable. That makes it even better. And actually, it's like all I've been drinking out of now because it fits. It's bigger than I thought it was.
Yeah.
Which is what I say all the time.
Yeah,
you're welcome.
Happy Pride.
So happy Pride. First of all, English is one of my favorite styles, mainly because of the color. It's not quite a brown. It's not quite a red ale.
Yeah,
it's some weird in between that is gorgeous.
Yeah. It is really nice looking.
It's hard to see on here. I feel like I can't quite do it justice with the lighting.
Okay, now you just get all of Phil's ring lights.
Yep. Cool. But you get that little reddish that's in it.
Yep.
Which is
I can use my cell phone light.
Don't get out of hand on here.
No,
don't architect this.
All right, I'm gonna give it a taste.
I've already drank it 3 times now. It's still now it's pink.
Now?
Now it's a boysenberry. That's not right.
All right. Well, it has some red to it, obviously. Sorry, I have a work email apparently.
Because this is your work.
You're right.
English ales are one of my favorites. The old ales tend to be a little more maltier and heavier than a regular English ale. But some people some people who drink go, oh, Budweiser is what I think of when I think of just beer, beer period. That's what I think of, or I think of this, or a Yingling or something like that. This style beer is exactly what I think about when I think about beer. I want to sit in a pub somewhere. I want this to be room temperature, and I bet it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Room temp?
Yes.
I want it to be just slightly colder than room temp.
Not me.
Slightly colder. I'm with Tiffany on this one.
Yeah.
But mine
colder, but not.
It's very hot in this attic, and so my beer has warmed up significantly.
Good Lord.
We kept ours in a koozie just in case.
No, I just let mine sweat.
It's chilly in here though, so.
No, so this is really good.
It is good.
Mm-hmm.
It is malty. There's a lot of caramel to it still. It's
There's definitely vanilla.
Yep.
It smells very it's a malt caramel on the nose.
Well, don't put it on your nose. You're supposed to drink it.
Oh. Well, I was gonna do a Phil
malt caramel on the nose.
I was trying to do like Phil last week.
Just spit it right up into my nose. Get as much of it as I can get.
No. Like, honestly, yeah, exactly. Sorry.
I'm just going to stay away from the comments.
But this is exactly what it is. So if you were having, let's assume you're a person that has turkey and stuffing and mashed potatoes, all the quintessential Thanksgiving genocide meals. Yeah, it was a tough time. But this is a beer that literally couples, like if there was cranberry sauce next to this, it's game over. Like this is perfect.
Do you like cranberry sauce?
But so that's also
a really good one.
That's also what I always think about though with these beers, because so it's named a Thanksgiving ale, so immediately in my head I go, this probably goes well with, because people are good at what they do. So then I always try to think to myself, if I'm at a bar somewhere, I don't know it's a Thanksgiving ale, this gets served to me, am I having another? Am I having 2, 3 of them like I would like a lighter style beer while I'm eating like nachos at a bar?
No.
I don't know if this is nachos.
Definitely not, because this is you wouldn't want to have this with Mexican food because it's already kind of a spicy beer.
Right.
So you don't want to add any spice to that.
Right. This goes well with like the standard, like your like comfort foods.
Yeah. Like if you were having, it would go well with Thanksgiving, because Thanksgiving is just like a bunch of like really soft, nice flavors. There's nothing like harsh and spicy and crazy.
Sure.
So it would go well with that.
Yeah, if you're doing spicy for Thanksgiving, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
No, but this is a solid beer though.
Yeah.
100%. Like
it is tasty.
I didn't do any research on this, and when I picked the can up, I was like, oh, it's English. It's an old English style, which means this is going to be great.
Also, yes, it would 100% go well with shepherd's pie. Once again, that like.
Now I got to get a different job to eat and drink. I'm not a shepherd.
I know.
Can I just have pie?
But like that, like quintessential, like just, I don't want to say bland because I don't think they're bland, but like that, like just hearty. We need to put something on our stomach because otherwise we're gonna die.
It's like a meat and carrots,
which is now just
meat, potatoes, carrot. Yeah, it's just that. And I wasn't sure if I would like it in the heat that I'm currently in, because it is clearly a fall beer.
That was my Twitter post today.
I dressed like it was
fun. It's June. Let's have a Thanksgiving beer. Not like I lost 10 pounds today sweating.
But I will say I don't mind it right now either.
Not at all.
I also really like this. Like we were talking, like the brown ale, the amber ale. Like when fall rolls around and those styles become more prevalent, it is my favorite time, because that style is kind of one of my like standard go-tos, like if I'm going to go somewhere, because it's kind of hard to mess them up. Like, I don't know.
I mean, I guess I honestly, I don't know enough about it to know what makes an English like a standard beer, or like we can make that like an amber ale or a red ale. Like,
I like that it's not too carbonated. It's really easy to drink. You can kind of keep drinking it.
Yeah. Smooth is definitely the adjective for that, because like even the first sip until now, there's no bite to it like a lot of other beers.
So while I was doing research on this beer, I noticed that at one point in time, Mayflower had this on nitro.
Oh, I bet that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And now that I've had this, I'm upset that I don't have it on nitro.
Because it's already extremely smooth.
Yes.
And then if you even took all the carbonation out of it.
And just had the flavor.
Ooh. Yeah. And like silky texture. Anyway. So for those of you who are in that area, you should check them out around autumn time.
Autumn time, which is a phrase I've never heard. Around autumn time.
Do you call it autumn or fall normally?
What is that, like 9, 10 o'clock
at night? I like autumn
or?
better. But then you can be like, happy fall, y'all.
Please, I told you not to say.
I just flip it in.
We had a whole
I had one rule. I had one rule on the show.
We had one rule. No happy fall, y'all. No, it's gonna be May. No.
No, I'm with the it's gonna be May. You can say
I know you are.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm not from the South, so saying y'all always is weird.
I know it is, but it's.
I think it's review time.
It is.
It is. I would like to review this now.
All right.
If you would
then
like
you
to
go
review
first.
this- Oh,
yeah.
I'm gonna give this a. Hold on.
While Tiffany thinks,
Thank
if
you.
anyone happens to be drinking this beer, which I would laugh at if someone is,
I
Vero is
of course,
hashtag
Vero is.
number one fan. Just saying.
I don't know where she got the beer. Could have been anyone, really. But if anyone else is drinking the beer, let us know what your score is. And then I have given Tiffany enough time now to think about what her score is going to be.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go with a 4.
A solid 4. Just hit it.
Solid 4.
Now,
I
if we
almost
could do middle of the ground between a 4, would you go up or down? If we could
I
do
would
like
go up. I would go up, but I don't know if I want to quite give it a 4.25 bottle caps.
Yep.
Because that's like kind of where I put in the beers of like, holy crap, this is a phenomenal beer, and I want like 8 of them. Like, not that I could ever have 8 of any beer.
Rookie.
2 beer, Tiffany.
Yay!
Tiffany.
But yeah.
All right, so you review this beer. I'm gonna pee real quick.
It's so early. How are
Sorry,
you doing?
we gotta get it done with.
He always loves leaving us to. He doesn't want to hear my review. Is I think the problem.
I can just keep telling you why I rated it a 4.
Yes, do that while I drink.
So, for those of you who follow me on Untappd, you'll notice I very rarely rate anything over a 4.5. And that is because no beer has essentially equated to an orgasm. So probably not a 5. However, anything over a 3 is
I'm surprised being with Daniel, you know what a 4.75 is like.
He left for this. We can't make it this kind of joke.
He can't defend himself. It's the perfect time.
I got time.
Oh,
you guys get to see my bedazzled basketball shorts. Okay, continue.
but anyway, anything over a 3 is something that I would definitely drink again. And pretty much anything over a 4 is just I don't have anything else to compare it to. It's just that good. So something being a 4 is a very good score in my book. But I don't think anyone's perfect, and I don't think any beer is perfect. I think we all have flaws, and that's fine.
Right here.
You're not
Continue, Phil.
perfect.
Oh my god.
No, Daniel, you're up. You're back. I didn't even give my score yet, but now that you're back, I want to hear yours.
Let me try it. The first time I've had a sip of it.
First time.
Okay.
No, actually, I'm gonna go a little lower than a 4. I'm gonna go 3.75.
Communist.
I know.
You're just mad that the Mayflower is not in Virginia. That's
one that was news to me, but thank you for bringing that back up again. No, but I do enjoy the beer. I think it's a great beer. With the Thanksgiving aspect of it, but with it being an old style English ale, I don't think I could drink it all the time. Like, I know it's a seasonal beer. Maybe I should stick with the seasonal aspect versus the actual style of the beer. But
let me tell you, if you were shopping, it's Thanksgiving,
sure.
Would you, and you saw this on the shelf, would you pick it up again?
Yeah. Oh, any day of the week.
Yeah. If it was autumn.
If I have friends and family coming over and I'm like, great, we'll bring the Natty Light. I'm like, great, go fuck yourself. Have this Thanksgiving ale. 100%.
Yeah.
Any day of the week. But again, for me, it's always, I'm a style against style. And I've had some really good old English ales and some really good English milds. And it's one of my favorite styles.
English mild is his jam.
Oh, God, it's delicious.
Just like coffee lagers are my thing.
So that being said, I still think it's a great beer. 3.75 is not terrible at all.
I think this would be a fun beer to have I love that they do it every year, and I love that they change it up every year a little bit. Like this would be something, if I lived in that area, this would be every Thanksgiving I'd have this beer.
Oh, good
The
Lord.
new version.
There is a brewery around us in Williamsburg that does a Valentine's Day beer every year. It's called My Bitter Valentine, and exactly, Like it only comes out at that time. It's only in a tall bottle. It's got like a wax coating on it. It's fancy as hell. And you create
it's a bougie beer.
You create your own clout around that by just only making it available around that time. And great idea.
Yep, and this, like I mentioned earlier, this is part of their like Cooper's series, and so it is specifically like rotational beers that are like somewhat specialty.
Yeah, I like the idea of the Cooper series beer too. Like this
hanging with Mr. Cooper beer. I'm all for a hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Could you
beer.
imagine?
You guys are the worst.
Could you imagine?
Oh my god, what would it taste like, Daniel? What would a hanging with Mr. Cooper beer taste? What style would it be?
I assume shame, pride, happiness.
Maybe a little bit of rubber for basketball. Just
fuck ton of mango and rubber. Agreed. Phil, what are you gonna rate this beer?
So here's where I'm at, and here's where the show score is going to be at 3.75. I'm also giving it the 3. I was at the 4. I will say my heart was at 4, but the more that it has kind of sat on my tongue, and the more I kind of have kept drinking it, I kind of lost a little bit of it. I guess I didn't like now as I'm almost done with it, I'm liking it less and less.
Okay,
interesting.
So I guess for me, that made it kind of drop. Like it's really good, but I'm almost like I still have a quarter left, and I'm like, I'm good. Like I don't know if I want another one. I don't. Maybe that's just like the summer, drinking a fall beer in the summer. Like it's just hot, and I don't want something this heavy. Maybe it's a little too heavy. I don't know, but that made it come down. But I still like it a lot. Like I would definitely want one every year. I'd want it at Thanksgiving for sure. I think it would go great with all the food. But yeah, just as I sat here, I think if I had gone first, I would have given it a 4. But I think going last now, I'm like, I can kind of taste it on my tongue, and I'm just kind of like, I don't think I keep wanting this.
So you're saying that you're susceptible to peer pressure?
Exactly, 100%.
Basically you're siding with Daniel, and that's fine.
There's an episode
bros before hoes. I get it.
There's an episode of Hanging with Mr. Cooper where they dealt with this exact same thing. Season 3, episode 27. I would love.
Leaning against the wall. I'm fine. You can just carry on. I'll just drink. Cheers, y'all.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So wait, don't we get to review other people's reviews?
Yeah, let's talk about other
people's. Let's go into Untappd.
This is my favorite.
This is part of the show where we go into Untappd, the alcoholic drinking social media, and we look at some other people's reviews of this beer and see where they kind of match up with ours. See if they don't. Let's take a look at the first one.
Malt flavors and dark rye bread. I can see that.
Solid description.
Molasses, some spices, earthy bitterness. I can see the earthy bitterness because, like Phil said, so and I've said this before, like there's like a front end, like a middle, and then a back end or like a finish with every beer.
Mm-hmm.
And the finish after a while. So this is a relatively low ABV. I think it's like a 6%.
Yeah.
But there is like an alcohol flavor. Yeah, 6.7. It's like a weird bitter.
For rounding up, it's a 7.
But I mean, even a 7 like isn't that bad. Like that's like an average IPA.
I know.
But there is like a weird bitterness to it that almost makes it taste more like alcoholic. I kind of dig it because once again, it's a Thanksgiving ale, and I expect that with a darker beer. Sure. But it's definitely like an earthy flavor.
Also, 2F.
2 fucks. He gives 2 fucks.
It's this person's username. Do we? And the F capitalized.
Yeah,
and
2 fucks. Like,
I don't know.
Capital fuck.
I don't know.
Can we trust him?
He watched 2 full episodes of Hanging with Mr. Cooper. I love this guy. All right.
Okay, so he was eating Thanksgiving.
Oh, he had it with sort of. What is this shitty hamburger bun on Thanksgiving?
That's like one of those like.
Is that a New England thing?
No, that's like a buy your bun. That's like a what? Isn't that like Newman's Own? Like whatever.
No, he's eating at the homeless shelter. They give it to him on a paper plate.
Like, look, there's even uncooked beans next to the. Like they didn't even make it that far. Like, are you hungry?
Or is it like weird? Like they decorated the table with like corn.
I just want to know what this splash of ocean spray. What do you think?
I mean, we know what ocean spray is.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's cranberry juice.
Right. So
Or the spray you get from an ocean. I don't know. One of those two.
I think it's the cranberry aspect, but I also think that has
He
something
did
to do.
capitalize it, but he didn't like put a trademark next to it, so maybe not be talking about the brand itself. However,
I
due
think
to
it
the
has to do with what he's
capitalization,
eating.
probably just the fact that he didn't have the trademark symbol on hand on his keyboard.
I mean,
Do you get the
No.
ocean spray cran? I don't either. That's what I was
No,
wondering.
I think he may just be drinking ocean spray cranberry
Or
juice.
he just ate cranberry sauce. I don't see
Or
it.
he ate, ocean spray cranberry.
And
right?
also, for those of us who have ever actually had a Scotch ale, every Scotch ale is way stronger than this beer.
This has a hint of it, like I said, but it is
tiny hint of
so-
it.
But this guy drinks Bud Light regularly, right?
Obviously, he's eating a fucking bun with Thanksgiving dip. Continue.
You can't be packing in that kind of stuff while you're trying to eat. Save room for all the good stuff. Don't eat the bread. All right.
So I will say most of the reviews on this beer, because there aren't a lot, as you see, there's only 588. Because I think they do it every year, so I think a lot of people just screw up their check-ins.
I think
But
that's right.
most of the people who commented on this, there wasn't a lot of jokes. There wasn't a lot. It's just, I think this is a respected beer in the area. I think it's like so everyone just kind of talked about it. So I don't have a lot of
I have
hilarious.
some theories. It's not about hilarious anything. So this gentleman, I assume Joey could be anybody. Full body, like his mother. Bit heavier than I expected, just like his mother.
Okay.
Malty, like his father. This is definitely a hearty fall beer.
Just leaving this episode.
Hearty fall beer, as the name suggests. Great review, no problems. 4 bottle caps, great. I'm glad you loved it.
3
Earned the Wheel of Styles level 10 badge. So that means he's had 50 beers of different styles, and he's rating this beer like he's had every beer possible.
No, he's giving it a accurate description.
Joey's
Also,
just
you're
like
a dick
Joey's
for saying
just like his
mom
full-body
is-
fat mother. I don't know what
For
to
the
tell
record, full-figured women is a good thing. You're welcome. I'm one of them.
you. Agreed. I love it.
Very bready. I love bread. It's why I'm full-figured.
Timothy loves bread.
I do love bread. I had a big sourdough thing for the first half of the pandemic, and Frank, our sourdough.
You and 975,000 white girls.
Oh, I know.
Would we
and
call
Frank-
this bready?
It's so that's that malty aspect,
Right.
which a lot of people think bready. So bready to me is more what's like the it's not the wheat beers, but like the banana-y, almost like a lot of
Hefeweizen?
Hefeweizens are really like bready and banana-y, like
Okay. I could see like a lot of like the more German style beers
Right.
being somewhat more bready.
sure.
It is because they're more wheat based.
Yep.
But yeah, like a meal in itself, it is very heavy, and
is.
I am milking it because of that fact.
Well, I think that's
Also, good news, I didn't eat dinner.
well, good news. It's a meal in a glass.
Yay! Cheers.
No,
So,
but I
see you
agree.
later.
It is
Cheers.
heavier than I expected it to be by the end of it.
Yeah,
Just like Joey said.
Yeah, which is interesting because if you had this for Thanksgiving, you're already eating so much. Do you want to put this on top of it?
Hell yeah, I do. I'm taking a nap.
So,
I'm loosening a belt.
For the record, I prepare for Thanksgiving a week
Stretchy
in advance.
pants.
Oh no, a week in advance. I start stretching out my stomach by eating more food. Because I fucking love Thanksgiving. It is my favorite.
Tiffany mentioned she was German earlier, right?
Yeah, and English and like early American.
Mm.
Not Native American, just the English that came over and we're like, this is ours now.
The weird part is when you get home and Tiffany's out of the shower stretching out her stomach.
No, I'm
Trying to prepare for Thanksgiving. Getting my stretches in. Holy sh.
Oh.
No. But no, I fully believe that Thanksgiving is an event and should be fully appreciated. It's my favorite because I'm a fat piece of shit.
No, you're not. I love Thanksgiving.
How dare
Nice
you?
and smooth.
Oh, look. This one put your boysenberry coloring behind
We
it.
put a candy
Now it's a
behind
pink
it.
beer.
Look at
Has anybody had a boysenbeer? Like
a boysenbeer or a boysenberry beer?
Well, they call it both.
Both?
Do they?
Yes. No, both doesn't have an L in it, Phil. I apologize for you.
I'm not sure. I think it might be.
Y'all has a couple L's in it. Both has no L's in it.
True story.
Well, so we're actually pretty close. I just looked at the rating. The rating is a 3.74. So we're right in there.
Way to be average, guys.
We really shepherded that one. Good job.
Thankful to my vote, which brought it down. Otherwise, we would have been way above.
Otherwise, I hate all of you.
Also, I'd like to point out that Vero said that it is like a lighter version of Guinness, and I would concur to that.
Yeah, I'm okay with
that. Guinness is actually like a thinner beer, if that makes sense. Like
Guinness is so light. Like
it is. It's like a 6% as well.
It's no, they less than that. Yes.
I do love Guinness, for the record. I recently had it out of a can, and it was fantastic as long as you do like the nitro pour where you like.
Right. Did you have the nitro Guinness?
Yeah. Well, technically, all the cans are nitro.
Well, no, sorry, I'm not thinking of the nitro. There's a new. What's the new Guinness that's out that everyone went crazy for when it first came out? It was like a nitro coffee Guinness or something.
I don't know, and I wish I would have.
I'll send it to you when I figure it out. It was one that it like sold out real fast because it's like I think it's a nitro Guinness coffee stout or something like that.
That sounds
which is probably great. Yeah.
Yeah, it was fantastic. If Guinness Gabriel is still on here, he'll know what it is.
Coffee. He says coffee.
Guinness is a 4.2% beer. Oh, man. So next time you're like
nitro coffee stout. There it is. There's Andy Whip. He's got it. Andy Whip. He's got it.
Did you just Family Guy him? Andy
Whip. Yeah.
It's Andy Whip.
How's that song go? Whip it or
Whip?
Whip it.
Whip.
Oh no. Oh no.
Guys, this is part of the show where we talk about what we wish was beer from our past week or from any time, whichever's gone through our head, whether it's good or bad. We talk about what we wish was beer. Daniel, you're first tonight for the wish you were beer.
It changed mid-show, so I hope you're happy with your decisions in life because here we go.
Oh.
I wish hanging with Mr. Cooper was good so that I could still be enjoying him today. I could turn TV, have a beer, watch Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Isn't like TV Land a thing?
I guarantee you he's Mr. Cooper somewhere. He's out there. He's hanging out with someone.
But obviously,
he's hanging with Netflix. He's hanging with HBO Max. He's hanging out with someone.
I just like the idea he was the star of the show, but he was also hanging out with himself because the show is about him hanging with Mr. Cooper, but he is Mr. Cooper, and nobody was really ever hanging out with him.
No,
I don't know.
It was you. You were hanging out with him.
There was some plot issues.
Just like all of our Vero and viewers and Gabriel and whatever.
All of our Veros.
Hold on, let me.
I love that we just got a new term for people that follow us. Our Veros.
I did not eat dinner. And this is actually my second beer.
Two-beer Tiffany?
We're getting close.
We're getting there.
That's what it goes.
No, hold on. What was I saying? Never mind. Doesn't matter.
I was just going to say, I would like for Hanging with Mr. Cooper to be beer. So
that's ridiculous.
Tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I could tune to channel 27.
We don't have channels. I mean, we do.
With Mr. Cooper.
I don't know.
We have fucking A right.
We have YouTube. No, TV.
Timmy, what?
Packing. I fucking hate packing.
That's it?
No, okay, so I have a slight OCD problem with packing. I like to make sure all my things aren't going to be wrinkled and or they all fit onto a carry-on. We are traveling this weekend, not on a plane. We are driving up to Pennsylvania for a friend of mine who is getting married. And I got home from work and continued working until approximately 6:30, and now I'm rushing around trying to pack. And
there was an episode on Hanging with Mr. Cooper about this exact thing. Season 3, episode 15. Continue.
Don't at me.
Don't at me.
So, are you guys going to hit up any breweries while you're up there?
Yes.
Does a bear shit in the woods?
Yes.
The answer I don't know how quick the trip was.
It is a very quick trip.
A lot
However,
longer since we're going to be stopping.
Yeah,
all the way
yeah.
along.
That 6-hour drive is going to turn into probably 8.
It's a pretty easy one. It's like 6.5 hours for us, which is
it's not too bad. And you're going to a wedding. Is this the first post-pandemic wedding?
It
Or
is.
Yeah, it is.
I was wondering if you were going to lie about it, but thank you.
No,
You seem
no,
very
no.
truthful.
Yeah.
Because we did not go to your cousin's wedding.
Correct. My cousin got married in Georgia during the pandemic, and I was like, Georgia, pandemic?
No,
Love
good.
you. We'll send you
Love you,
money.
boo. Yeah, I'll send you some new lamps for your living room.
So we did not go, but this is the first one. So
And our Airbnb is a block away from the wedding
It
venue.
is walking distance.
Oh.
You guys can get some footage that is way better than the Warheads.
That is so smart.
I don't know about that.
I
Yeah.
expect it. I can't wait.
2 beer Tiffany watching Hanging with Mr. Cooper in a hotel room. God, I can't wait.
It's not a hotel room, it's a condo.
Not even going to go to the wedding. Just watch it hanging with
Just
Mr.
in the
Cooper.
car watching Hanging with Mr.
No, I because I am a nice person, told my friend that we could use my phone to video her wedding.
Because that's what kind of wedding we're going to. She needs Tiffany's phone to video.
Well,
her
she's got a
wedding.
photographer, but she did not do a videographer.
A videographer.
Videographer.
Very important.
True story.
I don't need a video, I don't think. I'll just be like, hey, person in the front row, you have a phone because it's the year 2021. Film this shit. They send it to me.
I'd say a lot of videographers are very offended by what you're saying right now. But
I
that's
understand.
fine.
Phil,
Hey,
that you're
hey Phil,
upset.
how's your job?
Yeah, right.
I don't do weddings because I
Yeah.
would never do a wedding because that
I
was
just
the
need
worst
photos
idea.
that I can put on Instagram.
Fair.
Don't we
obviously.
all? Don't we all?
Also, if you want to take photos of the beers we're drinking and send them to me like Vero does. Oh, yes.
Perfect.
Yes, Argentina, your president
No
made
bueno.
some
I
questionable
assume.
decisions yesterday.
Oy, well, let's end on that one then. I'm out.
No,
See you guys later.
no,
No,
you have to
you're
have
out.
it. I know you haven't thought about it, but go.
I actually have because I brought it up at the beginning of the show. I'm on a bayou, and I have a fear. I have a fear of gators.
Really?
Big fear.
Oh.
Just
I also am not sure about them. I've never actually seen one.
It's like the
Outside of
coolest little
like a zoo?
dinosaur
Nope.
you can hang out with.
I think
no
it's-
interest.
But like the whole concept of like them just being there and like running up on you because they're
Yeah.
fucking fast.
And you don't know they're there because they're so quiet.
small and silent, and all of a sudden they're there.
Yeah.
I'm
So
here I'm with you, Phil. I got you.
yeah, thank you. So I wish gators were beer because
Right.
then I would be totally fine being around them. Because we're staying in this Airbnb, and I thought I want to go relax for a week, maybe sit outside for a bit. Let me sit on the bayou. And then I
No.
got here and I was like, wait a second, I have a fear of gators. Why am I here? Why am I on a bayou? So now every time I step outside, I'm looking under the car for a gator before I get into it because I just assume one is just chilling under the car because that's
It's
what they
bigger
do.
than that stupid rental car you have.
Well, so
It's not bad.
here's where I get. So I could do okay, right? I'll be all right. But I'm taking the dog out into the yard. He does not want to go on that yard. No interest.
Smells like
Doesn't-
gators.
Won't even cross into the grass. Just pulls back. Goes, I'm not going over there.
Mr. Sullivan. He's an old man. He's seen some shit.
He has like gators, and he knows they're out there. So
Yeah.
he's like, I don't want to go on that grass. That's gator territory.
Yeah.
So
You
I haven't
gotta
stepped
go
on the
in
grass
that
since.
Pee in it and remind the Gators who's boss.
Not that
Oh,
little dog.
no.
Not poor Mr. Little Sullivan.
No, those gators would smell my fear in my pee. They'd be like, he is not the boss. He is not Mr. Cooper. Yeah.
Ah,
God, I can't wait for our Tuesday episode.
Oh, it's going to be so good.
We have so much to talk about.
So that's where I'm at. Gators. I wish they were beer. What are we doing next week, guys?
Aren't we doing
Do you remember? We are
Jolene.
doing Jolene from Bentwater.
I do remember that.
This is exciting. This is from my hometown area. Not my hometown. I do not live in Lynn. I did not grow up there. Lynn, not Hamilton.
Music?
Nope. We don't have a brewery in Hamilton.
Never heard of it.
Just a lot of polo fields. Lynn. This was made in Lynn.
You and Tiffany should hang out.
We have hung out. We got along pretty well. And then I was like, you guys hang out on your own because I'm going the fuck to bed.
I'm excited. This is our first stout.
Oh yeah,
am
you're
excited.
true story. Yeah.
Yeah. This is one of their signatures from Bentwater too. The Bentwater came around it's not that old, so they're pretty new in that area. And I love when a place is like their like signature is a stout. I think that's pretty interesting.
Yep.
Yeah, it's relatively uncommon. It's usually like a lighter beer that's more
Something's more palatable across the board.
Because not a lot like stouts are somewhat intimidating to people. I feel like like porters, just because you think they're going to be really heavy.
I'm also very excited to hear about why they call it Jolene in our history and facts section.
Well, I'll give you a hint.
I will find out. Oh, could be Dolly Parton.
Vero's already done research.
She did send me a picture already.
I mean, it might not be. It might not be the Dolly Parton Jolene. We haven't done history and facts yet.
Is there a Dolly Parton Jolene?
I don't know. I mean, there's a
Is that
song.
a real person? I know it's a song. Come on.
Oh, actually, you know what? I heard a podcast about this, and I can't recall it right now.
Rambling.
I love podcasts. Also,
Andy Whip says they're a small shop. Pretty popular.
Podcast. If you like feminist movement stuff, you should look at this one. Not a stout. Hold on. Isn't it a porter? It might be a porter.
Oh, it's a porter. You're correct. Vera.
I just love the idea that you just got hanging with Mr. Cooper.
I did. You're correct. It's a porter.
Yeah, I use it at work all the time.
I don't
you
understand.
got to hang with Mr. Cooper.
I use it
You're
daily.
wrong, but you
Daily.
think you're right, and he corrects you.
I'm kind of shocked that we're 13 episodes in, and this is the first time we've referenced it because I talk about it all the time.
I wish you could come to work with me so you could hear how much I talk about this show.
What?
Yeah.
It is a porter.
Wow.
I've had 2 beers, so I'm 2 beer Tiffany tonight. So I totally called it a stout, and it is a porter. So that'll be exciting.
It's dark.
It's dark, much like this room is getting. My eyes are getting. The church is starting to fade into me.
I've confessed my sins and I'm out.
I'm going to go back. I'll be in that room. That's where I'm going to be sleeping tonight.
I got really excited because I dig old churches.
Oh, it's not a church.
I'd like to like rehab one into a home.
Yeah.
Or a cool yoga studio.
And enjoy all of that spiritual activity in your life. I'm good.
Well, everyone, thank you for joining our show tonight. We are doing Jolene from Bentwater next week. I know some of you New Englanders who are watching should be able to get that beer. It's pretty easy to find in that area. Tonight was a good show.
Look for it in autumn.
Yeah. Look for it in autumn. Happy Thanksgiving, guys. This was a great show about Thanksgiving. Subscribe, like, share. We just get so many likes and shares. It's just out of control.
Sometimes I wish we could get some negative comments about Phil or Tiffany.
More than anything, I would just like for you to share with your friends because we are almost to 50 subscribers on our YouTube channel. And it's so close. Very exciting. I made a thing about how we were going to like start buying like stickers if we got to 50. So
I think that's a deal. If we get to 50,
we could like make stickers. Like we'll like purchase stickers and then you could be like, hey, we would like some stickers. And
I'm not a Cooper.
We'll send them stickers.
I can't make stickers. If I've learned anything from this show,
I love stickers. Also, I just mimicked Daniel, and I don't know if anyone else noticed. To creativity. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.